Hello, I'm EG and this is Crocheting with EG. And in this video I have a couple things I crocheted and a couple crochet related things and then a bunch of other random stuff. This is one of my variegated videos, but there are a couple things that have nothing to do with crochet that I'll talk about near the end. There are a couple things that I crocheted and I'll be talking about that. But the first thing is I crocheted a ridiculous Santa hat for myself, and by the time this video comes out, hopefully I've already done the video and posted it, all that kind of stuff, because I'm really far ahead in filming. But it's going to be for the video where it's like my Christmas video. I'm going to be releasing it on Christmas, and I'm going to be like crocheting or whatever, just with some music playing in the background, and I wanted to make a Santa hat for myself, you know, so I could look even more ridiculous. That video is going to be coming, or I mean, I already posted it or whatever, but you know, as I'm filming this I haven't done it yet, but hopefully it turned out alright. And I'm gonna have like a little Christmas tree set up or whatever, and I'm gonna be like just like a really kind of a nice Christmas video, because I do love Christmas, and I thought it might be kind of nice to make a video and where I'm crocheting or whatever, so that I can have a video for Christmas. And then I just thought it'd be kind of cool to like crochet myself a Santa hat. It's utterly ridiculous. I just kind of freehanded it, so it's not perfect or whatever, but hopefully it'll be alright. So this is the Santa hat. See, like the shape of it isn't, you know, exactly perfect or whatever. I just kind of free-handed it, and so I'll put it on if you want to see. You've probably already seen me in it, and you already know how ridiculous I look in it. But I just kind of like free-handed it or whatever. It's just, I mean, it's good. It's like, it looks like a freaking Santa hat. It's so weird that, like, this is another one of the things where it feels like how much this whole YouTube experience and crochet and stuff has changed my life. Like, I don't remember ever putting a Santa hat on my head in my entire life, but now because I'm crocheting, not only am I like wearing a Santa hat now and talking to a camera or whatever, and I'm going to be using it in a video while I'm crocheting, in some ridiculous video, but it's not just like I put on a Santa hat for the first time. It's like I made one. It's just, I don't know, just bizarre. Just, I mean, it's perfect. I really love it. But it's just one more thing in my ridiculous life that I never thought I would ever do. But anyway, so I did make a Santa hat. The yarn I used for this, God, I wish I could go back in time and buy every single one of the skeins, because the yarn I used was, or it's up on the top of my shelf, but it's that yarn that I got in the big markdown from Hobby Lobby. It's like that really thick velvet yarn that if you kind of unravel the very end of it, you could pull it out, and I showed it in a previous video, and you can like pull it out and make it into like a really thin strand of velvet yarn, I got me like one of each. There's 5 different colors. I should put this on so I can cover my bald spot. No, I don't care. But I got 5 different colorways. There's like a green and a red, and like a really vibrant teal blue, and then kind of a greenish teal, and then like a pastel kind of mix, and then an ivory. And then when I realized you can turn that really thick yarn into a really thin yarn, I bought some for my niece. I didn't buy her every single one of them. I didn't get her the ivory, but I did get her all the rest of them, because I thought she'd find it kind of interesting to be able to, like, you know, pull it out and make it into a single strand of yarn. And because it is really cool how it just, you know, became this, like, it was so thick. Like when I first went in there for the big markdown and I saw all that yarn, I thought, I'm not going to get that. First of all, it was like expensive. I think the original price for that was like over $20 or something, and even discounted, it was really ridiculous. So I had the price that I spent. But then, but I thought it was like really cool. It does make a lot of yarn, and so what I did was I took the red, because I didn't want to have to get my skein down and then and like unravel it and all that stuff. I just took the ball that I put on my niece's wall, and there's still a whole bunch left, like this giant ball. So I used that yarn, and I made this. But I wish I could go back in time and buy every single one of those, because I didn't know how nice this was to use. I mean, because I've used some plush yarn that's like, sometimes it's so plushy that you can't even see the stitches, and you just have to kind of feel for where to go into and stuff. God, this was so amazing to work with, and so I regret so much not getting all the rest of it, because there were times, like I went into Hobby Lobby like several times after I got the big markdown, and I bought practically half the yarn that they had in there. I did leave the other half, but there were several times I went in there after I'd gotten the big markdown, and I saw those skeins. They were sitting on there for weeks because nobody wanted them, because like even I didn't want them at first, because I went back for them once I realized you could pull out and make it a really thin yarn, because I thought, like, what do you do with that really big thick yarn? And so, like, even I left them there at first, but then I went and got some or whatever, but they stayed on the shelf for so long, and somebody eventually bought them or whatever. But like, I wish I could go back in time and buy all of those, because I couldn't believe how easy this was to work with, and how not, I mean, it was just so incredible to work with. And so it's so soft, and I mean, I know it's velvet yarn or whatever, but God, it was so incredible. So I made a ridiculous Santa hat. And then the white down here, I used, I only have a little bit left, but it was one of those that I gotten in a thing at Goodwill or whatever, that it's from Moda Dia Dream. I don't know. It's like this kind of eyelash yarn or whatever. I used this to make the white part down here. And then I used it for the ball. I actually did crochet the ball myself, but when I got to the point where you're supposed to stuff it, I couldn't find my polyfill. As organized as my yarn is, my crafts are just like, you know, boxes and boxes of stuff, and there's a pile of stuff on my dining room table, and like I said, we don't have like a real dining room. It's like a sort of a catch-all room, and like on my dining room table, which is in the corner or whatever, there's like some stuff, like a bunch of crafty stuff. I have a whole bag of polyfill in that stuff, but I didn't want to take the time to find it or whatever, you know, dig through all that stuff. I need to organize my craft stuff too. So what I did was, when it got to the point where I needed to stuff it, I bought those pom-poms on clearance at Hobby Lobby, and so I just stuck one of those pom-poms in. I could have just, like, once I got to that point, I could have just like put one of those pom-poms on it, but then I thought I wanted it to match the white part of the hat, so I wanted to keep that part, and so I just put like a regular pom-pom in it. So it's extra heavy too, because of that pom-pom in it. So but that's what I stuffed it with. But I did make the pom-pom too. But I'm just, as ridiculous as this is, I'm really happy with it. And I just loved crocheting this so much, just because of how nice it was to crochet with that yarn. I can't believe it. God, I regret not buying all of it, but whatever. And so I made that. And then when I was thinking about like a Santa hat or whatever, and I was thinking about the Christmas bag, how I took my candy corn design and I just flipped it, because like, you know, this is the way I did the candy corn bag. So I just flipped it, and I wanted to make it into a Christmas tree or whatever. It's like these triangular panels or whatever, like 4 of them. And so when I was thinking about this, and then I like made this hat, I was thinking what I should do is next year probably. I should make another one of these, and instead of it being a Christmas tree, I should make it into a Christmas hat, like a Santa hat, because, you know, it's the same shape, and then but instead of a star up here, I can make like a little fluffy piece, like a little pom-pom, like not exactly a pom-pom, but just like this fluffy circle up here to make it look like a 3D pom-pom, and then like down at the bottom, like make the white and some kind of like, I don't know if I have enough of this, but use some kind of like eyelash yarn to make it kind of fluffy down here. And then I should use that red velvet yarn, but I don't know if I'd have to triple it up, because this is tripled up yarn, just to make it more significant, because this is really soft yarn, and I don't know if it would stand up to, you know, being used as a bag. But like I wish I could, you know, take this and make it exactly like that on a bag. But so that's going to be next year. I'm probably gonna that's a project for next year. Add that to the list of the thousands of projects that I have in my head, not just like crochet related, but all the other ones that I need to get to. But whatever. And so, but that's going to be something that I want to do. I want to make this bag again, but have it be a Santa hat. I just think it would be really cool. But that's the Santa hat. And then I'll talk about this because it's crochet related. I got a book from Ollie's. It's crochet related, and then I'll go into some other things, and I'll just kind of talk about it randomly. Maybe I'll do the yarn next. And then there is something that I already crocheted, but then I sort of finished, and I'll show that at the very end, just to, you know, bring it back around to the crochet. I mean, it's not really, it's not 100% finished, because I want to add a couple things to it, but there is something more crochet related coming at the end. But whatever. So I went to Ollie's, and like I've said in previous videos, their selection of books is just incredible. I mean, it rivals my local bookstore. We have this, you know, small, it's a nice bookstore, but it's just like this really small bookstore in my town. But I would bet you that there are more books in my local Ollie's than there are in my local bookstore. I mean, they can order books for you at that local bookstore, but I'm just saying, like, the selection in Ollie's is just insane. I've just bought so many books in Ollie's. I bought a couple Lucy books. I bought my mom like practically a whole shelf of Beatles books. They just have an amazing selection of books, and some of them are a little pricey, but compared to the original price, I mean, this is a crochet book. The original price was $34.99. That's probably like the suggested retail price, though. Like if this was in Walmart, it would probably be less than that, but still, this is only $6.99. It's Friends, the one with the crochet, the official crochet pattern book, and this this is adorable. Like, I'm not one to follow detailed patterns or whatever, but like there's some things in here that like I'm definitely gonna make one day. And like on the cover, like there's a cozy or koozie or whatever you call it for a mug, and it looks like the turkey that Monica put on her head. And then this bag here that has the picture frame around it, and there's like a couch. They have like a little amigurumi of all the characters and stuff. I probably won't do that, but and there's a like some of these, I don't want to show like the detailed patterns or whatever because I don't own the patterns, but there's like, okay, a Central Perk blanket, which is gorgeous. It's like the Central Perk logo. It's like one of those tapestry kind of things, and it looks exactly like the Central Perk logo, which is cool. But when you look at the pattern, it's like page after page after page after page. It gives you detailed instructions up to row 297. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is something as cool as it is that I probably would never make. I mean, it's just page after page after page after page. It's insane. I mean, it's really cool, but I don't see myself ever making something like that. But this bag right here is like really tempting to make. I mean, it looks like the picture frame on their door, and even the color matches their wall, and the couch is really cool too. I do like the couch. I mean, this is like an amigurumi kind of thing, but it doesn't look too complicated. It's only one page, so it doesn't seem too complicated to make. But like, if I was going to make an amigurumi anything like that is really cool, that couch. Of course, then it's like, you know, I'm gonna have a couch without any of the characters to sit on it, because they do show that the character, like on the cover of the book, some of the characters sitting on the couch or whatever. So it would kind of suck to not do some of the little amigurumi characters, but I don't know if I'll ever do that or not. But there are some things I'm definitely going to do from this book. But I love this, and I love Friends, and this is going to go with my Friends collection. I do have a lot of Friends stuff. It's weird, but I love that this is crochet and like crochet patterns and stuff, because I've seen some really cool books like this, not like really big thick books or whatever, but I've seen some really cool like branded books, and usually it's like knitting stuff, or like it's just amigurumi. Like there's a Harry Potter thing that I've shown in a previous video. I have it in my Harry Potter collection, but it's like little amigurumi of like, but there's some things in here. It's not just amigurumi. It's not just like these really complicated patterns. There's stuff that like even I, who wants to have a simplified thing, even I can follow without getting frustrated or thinking, oh God, what row am I on? Am I on 217 or 219, or like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not looking forward to doing really complicated patterns like that, but there are some really simplified things in here that are going to look really cool if I do them, and I'm going with my Friends collection. But I did get that at Ollie's, a really good deal for like $6.99 for this book. I couldn't believe they had this, because like they do have a lot of like sewing books and even knitting books and stuff, but they hardly ever have crochet, and for it to be like Friends related, it was like the perfect thing for me to find in there. And then I went into Hobby Lobby, and they had two random skeins. This was like 3 or 4 days before the shipment day, and there were two random skeins in the remnants that were clearance, and so I went ahead and got those. They were just unexpectedly there, so I thought, okay. So I did get those. One of them is the Yarn Bee Soft Secret in the color Ivory, and again, like for it being random skeins, this is one of those that was a regular $5.99 clearance to $1.49, not like the $4.99. So one of the higher priced ones, but I got it for $1.49. So there's that one, really pretty ivory color. And then I love this yarn print, and the color is Smoky Water, which I've gotten before. This was $4.99, got it for $1.24. And it has all these like grays and blacks and whites and stuff. And the gray in this is kind of like a bluish gray. It's a really pretty variegated skein, so just completely random. And so I thought, okay, grab those. And then while I was in there, their Christmas stuff, like the Christmas ornaments, were 60% off. So I went ahead and got one of those knitting ornaments or whatever that I showed a picture of in a previous video, but I didn't get because it says "All You Knit Is Love" on it, and I'm not really into knitting. But I thought it's adorable anyway, and like if I display it, I can just display it with the reverse side showing, and then have the knitting part facing the other way. Or I mean, there's like this big space here where I can use, I have all that glitter that I got from Hobby Lobby. I can like do something crafty and like write something here about crochet or something. But it's just like it's adorable. It's not as pretty as the one that I had gotten on Amazon that's on my Christmas tree, but still, it's like a skein of yarn. It actually did have a skein of yarn ornament. It just doesn't have anything to do with crochet, but it is adorable anyway, and 60% off. Like the regular price is $11.99 for this, and so I got it, 60% off. But see, on this side it says "All You Knit Is Love," But see how the knitting needles block one of the words? Like all you knit is blocking the word you. And then you can't even see the word is until you like, you know, turn it to the side. It was just like badly designed or whatever. But I thought it is yarn related and I can use, like, I can display it this way. And so I thought I'll get it, you know, for 60% off, and then I can do something on the back here and just have the knitting part, you know, facing the other way. But I mean, it is really pretty and glittery and stuff. And so I did get that, you know, 60% off while I was in there. So that's the Hobby Lobby stuff. When I did get a super thanks from Jody Belton65, I wanted to shout her out in this video. I still need to make that ST thing to hang up with the chains on it to represent all the super thanks and all that. I still need to do that, but I might save it for a video where I'm showing how to work with the moldable plastic. I don't know if when I show that in a video where how the moldable plastic works, if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to do something else. There's another idea in my head, like, because I do want to show how that moldable plastic works. It's really cool, but I still need to make the ST thing, and I might cover it with like a chain like I did. It's still in this room, but the 1 and the K or whatever that I made with the chain on it, or this way. I might do this kind of thing with that ST thing too, to hang all the super thanks chains on. Just take a really pretty yarn and like chain it up or whatever, and hot glue it to the little thing I hang up for the all the super thanks or whatever. I think that'd be cool. I'll probably use a different yarn to differentiate from this, but I don't know what yarn I'll use. But that's just an idea that I'm working on. I still haven't done the ST thing, but I'm going to. But thank you so much, Jody, for the super thanks. I really, really appreciate it, and I've enjoyed talking with you in the comments so many times. So I just wanted to shout you out in this video. And I guess I'm talking about the stuff I got at Goodwill. It's not crochet related at all, but I'll just talk about a couple random things, and I'll get back to the crochet at the end. But I found this sign thing from my friend, and I'll put it in her package whenever I send it to her. Like I said, we buy stuff all the time for each other, and then when it gets to a certain point, then we send the package, like when it's enough for a package. And so I do have a couple things, but it's not enough to send her a package yet. And so I don't know when I'll be sending this to her, so hopefully she won't watch this video. But if she does, you know, I hope you enjoyed this whenever you get it. But she is into plants and stuff. She grows all kinds of plants and everything, and she's real crafty too. She makes all kinds of things with that resin, and it's so cool to have like we've been best friends since high school, and like we're both really creative people. But it's also really cool that we're not creative in the same thing. We were both in the same ceramics class and stuff, but it's really cool that I have a best friend who's creative like I am, but that we're also really different too. And so we get to like talk about what we're interested in to each other, and it's not like, oh yeah, I already know that, because it's like, you know, it's really fascinating to listen to her talk about what she's interested in, because like I don't know how to do any of that stuff, and then I get to, you know, talk her ear off talking about all the creative stuff that I do, and but we're still really close, and we've just bonded over our love of creativity. So whenever I see something out and it reminds me of something that she might like, I always get it for her. But because she's into plants, I saw this sign and I thought, oh, this is going to be the perfect thing to send to her. It's like a little ceramic tile in a frame. It says, friendship has a lot to grow on, and then the leaves coming off of it say laughter, fun, dreams, joy, trust, hope. It's just like this adorable little thing that she can put in her plant room or whatever. But I saw this and I thought of her immediately, so I'm just going to go with her stuff. And so I'm sorry if you came across this video and you're watching it and you still haven't gotten this yet after this video eventually comes out. But you'll get it eventually. But anyway, so they had that. And then I got this picture because my mom was with me, and she said that it reminded her of where she used to grow up. And we do love the snow and everything. And like I've shown that big backdrop or whatever I have in the living room above the couch that I gave my mom. Like, you know, I sort of surprised her with it. It looks like a window with like a snow scene out of it, because she loves the snow and we love the snow. And but it's just like this really pretty, like it's sort of like a country road kind of picture, whatever. And what's really cool about it is it still has a plastic on. I didn't realize that. But it has this button here, and when you turn it on, it has these blinking lights in it that are supposed to kind of mimic snowflakes coming down. But I mean, it's just like this really pretty these twinkling lights or whatever. It reminds you more of like the twinkling of stars, but it's supposed to be like little snowflakes coming down. It's really cool. And so I got that for my mom. This is only $4.99. Or did I even say how much this was? It doesn't matter. This was $2.99, but whatever. So this was $4.99, and it's totally worth it, because like the picture alone known my mom loved. And but you know, it has all these little twinkling lights on it. I guess that is supposed to mimic, like, you know, snowflakes coming down or something. But my mom just loves this. I need to take the plastic off. I didn't even realize the plastic was on it. God. But I guess this was brand new, but I didn't even realize it. That's all the Goodwill stuff. But while I was out, I went to Michael's, and they had their ornaments. I was going through their Christmas ornaments, and they were on sale. Their regular Christmas ornaments were 60% off, and so I did get 2 of their ornaments, and then like the Hallmark branded ones were 50% off, and so I did get one of those. But the ones I got that are their brand, I got this beautiful heart. It's like kind of sort of has all these facets like a jewel. This is going to go on my I Love Lucy tree, which I still need to redo. But I just every time I see a heart, like, I'm looking forward to Valentine's Day coming up too, because they have all kinds of heart stuff. Like, I go all out going through the store during Valentine's Day, because I do love getting all kinds of pretty heart stuff to go with my I Love Lucy collection. But this is just gorgeous, and it's like one of those glass ornaments, and it has all these facets on it. It's kind of, it looks like a jewel, like how I love jewels and stuff, but it's also a heart, and so I got that. I don't know the price. What was the receipt? So this one was regular $9.99, and so 60% off it brought it down to $4. So that I got that one, and then I did get that glue gun. I talked about it in another video. I thought this is adorable, and so this was $4 too. But it's just little, like, see, they have better crafty ornaments than Hobby Lobby does, and Hobby Lobby is like a craft store. I know Michael's is too, but like, it's weird how Hobby Lobby doesn't have as many crafty ornaments as you would think, or like even like all the pictures and knickknacks and stuff. You would think they would have tons of like crafty stuff. But whatever, they just don't. But like, I loved this glue gun, and I do use a glue gun a lot for the other crafty things that I do. Or I used it for that the 1 and the K. I've used my glue gun for some of my crochet too. But I just had to get this adorable little glue gun. I just thought it was so cool. And then the Hallmark ornament that I got that was only 50% off, but still it was on sale. The regular price was $12.99. I got it for $6.49. It's the Nintendo controller, and I thought that was really good, because I do have, like I've said, I have it's a Retron. It's not an actual Super Nintendo or a regular Nintendo. But I do have a Retron and like some games and stuff, and like some of the original like Nintendo and Super Nintendo cartridges and stuff. And so I do have like a small collection of like Nintendo stuff like from the 90s. But so I thought this was really cool. Like, I mean, it looked exactly like the controller. Like, you almost want to hit the buttons, but you know, it looks exactly like the original Nintendo controller. I wonder if they have like a Super Nintendo, if they're going to make one. If they do, I'm probably going to get a Super Nintendo controller too, if they ever make one. And then I went to a couple pawn shops, and I like to go there just to look for DVDs and stuff. And there are a couple pawn shops that have like some collectibles, and I found a couple in there over the years. But not, for the most part, it's like there's a lot of Star Wars stuff in there, and just not a lot of collectibles that I would be interested in or whatever. But I do mainly go into the pawn shops to look for the DVDs. And so I went into one of my pawn shops, and I found this movie, and it's called Wreckage. I'm sure it's really good. No, it has Aaron Paul in it. That's the only reason I got it. You know, the guy from Breaking Bad that plays Jesse. And so I don't know if this is going to be any good or not, but I got this movie, and then when I was looking at this is one of the pawn shops with all kinds of collectibles and stuff. They have this little bin over there that has all like little tiny loose toys that look like McDonald's toys, like little tiny toys, and I think they're like $1 a piece or whatever. And so I was going through those, and they had a little Snow White. Like I said, my mom's favorite Disney movie is Snow White, and we have all kinds of like Snow White stuff for her. And but they had a little Snow White, and so I got this movie, which I wasn't even sure if it would be any good, but I thought, you know, for $1, and then I thought for this for another $1, and I went up to the register, and the guy, it's that same pawn shop where he's like giving me stuff before. He saw that I had a movie in this, and he said, "I'll just take them," and, like, so for free. So if this movie sucks, it didn't cost me anything. It cost somebody $1.99 at Goodwill. So somebody bought this at Goodwill and then just like gave it to the pawn shop. Somebody spent $1.99. I didn't spend anything on it. And then this, I love that I got this from my mom. I would have paid the $1 for this because my mom just loves Snow White, but you know, totally free too. And then I went to another pawn shop, and, like the one that gave me that really good deal on all those Golden Girls DVD sets. And so I went in there, and they had some seasons of American Horror Story, and then or they did have a couple movies too. But they had some seasons of American Horror Story, and I have all of those. I haven't seen every single one of the seasons, like the like double feature. I haven't seen any of those, but I did watch. I haven't seen 1984 and Apocalypse, but these are the ones that I didn't have on DVD. I do have all the rest of them on DVD, but But when I saw these in there, like, I know that Apocalypse got an official release eventually, but I don't think it was kind of a rare thing. But I know that they released this officially before, but I don't think these have ever been released officially before. So when I saw these in there, I had a feeling that these might be bootlegs. But like, there are times where, like, I feel like a show isn't out on DVD, and like, I hate that TV shows on DVD.com doesn't exist anymore, because like I used to go on there all the time, and I even contributed some of the news. It was such an excellent source for, like, you know, finding out what DVD, what TV shows and stuff were coming out on DVD, but they don't exist anymore. And so, but there have been times where I feel like, oh, this show isn't out on DVD, and then I walk through Walmart and they'll have like the complete series set. It's like, and it's like an official thing. So I got these pretty much feeling like these are probably going to be bootlegs, but they looked like they're getting really good at making these look official, because I mean, it really does, it doesn't feel like a bootleg at all. Like, even the way the discs look, I mean, I can't believe they look official, they look legit, but I just feel like that they might be bootlegs, unless these were released officially and I just didn't know about it, because I don't follow the news anymore, because that website doesn't exist. But I knew that this was released officially, but I have a feeling this might be a bootleg too, because this is a very widely bootlegged show. But I don't know, I put a couple episodes in, and they seem to play fine and everything, but if they're bootlegs, they're really damn good bootlegs. But whatever, I did get these. These were priced at $5 a piece, and so they were priced at $5 a piece, and they were still shrink wrapped and everything. I already opened them, but they were priced at $5 a piece, so remember that. And then they had Nip Tuck, the 6th and final season. I know I watched Nip Tuck like the first few seasons, but I never really followed the rest of it. But I think I have almost every single set, and I need to catch up on this sometime. I watched it when it first came out, but it's been that long since I watched it, and I sort of gave up on it, and I need to finish watching this show. Like, start from the beginning and watch the rest of it, because I did enjoy it when it first came out. But this is the 6th and final season. I didn't have this, and so I was going to get this, and this didn't have a price on it, so I knew it would be priced as like a regular DVD. And so it's that same pawn shop where, like, if you walk up there with one DVD, like one, you know, DVD that doesn't have like a price sticker on it, then they'll say, well, if you go over there and get 2 more, it's only $1. And so, like, I don't know, can you not buy like one DVD? And so, like, every single time I go in there and I find like one movie or whatever, I feel like I sort of have to get 2 more, and so I have to, like, go over there. I guess I could get this one and maybe this one, just to get the DVDs for $1. I don't know, but so I did get this, and then they had Spider-Man Homecoming. I haven't seen this, but it's still brand new and everything. But like I said, I haven't seen any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies or anything. But I have seen the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, and so are they not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe now? Because I know that they crossed over. I don't know if this is, I don't think this is the one where they cross over into this. But I went ahead and got this because I thought, you know, maybe I'll get into all these, like, Marvel movies and all the DC movies too, and like all that kind of stuff in the future. But I do love the original Spider-Man, so maybe this will be good too. But I got this, and plus it was brand new. And they had the Goonies, and I put the DVD upstairs with my Christmas stuff that because I got my brother the Goonies because we watched it at Thanksgiving, and they had the Goonies on DVD. So I'll grab that, and then I'll put that, like, a little extra bonus gift for my brother for Christmas. He doesn't care about, like, these slipcases and stuff, so I took the slipcase off. I'm going to keep the slipcase and put it on my Goonies or whatever, because he just throws all these kind of things away. But I did get the Goonies for my brother too. So what these were priced at was, okay, like, this is supposed to be $15 plus these 3 for another $1, so it's supposed to be $16. And so I thought, okay, well, that's a really good deal, because, like, I don't have these shows, and I'm sure I can stream them somewhere, but I'm not really into streaming services and stuff. And but I thought I'll get these to kind of complete my collection. I haven't seen, I did watch Apocalypse and enjoyed it in 1984, but I haven't seen Double Feature. So that's the 10th season. I don't know if these will be any good or not. But I did get those just to kind of complete my collection. I know that there's some other seasons and stuff, but I did get these to complete the ones that I know that are out on DVD. These are supposed to be $16, but I went through the line, and it's that same pawn shop where, like, I go up there with, like, a bunch of DVDs, like all those Golden Girls, and then I walk up there, and then he's, like, knocks off, like, half the price or whatever. And I don't really go in that pawn shop that often, but so I was expecting to spend $16, which would have been a good deal, and then he goes, $10. And I thought, $10? Like, it was supposed to be $16, and so he knocked $6 off. So, a really good deal. Talk about deal magnet. I just couldn't believe that I got those for only $10. So it's and they're brand new. I mean, they could be bootlegs, but they're damn good bootlegs if they are. And them being brand new and all these for only $10 are a really good deal. And then I did go to the Habitat for Humanity restore, and I like to look at their shelves and stuff. They do have a few books and some movies and stuff, but I also like to look at their shelves because they do have affordable shelves sometimes. Sometimes it's like it's really old furniture and really big obnoxious pieces that I would never be able to fit into my car, but I have to like call my brother to come over to bring his big truck or whatever just to help me drag the damn stuff into the house or whatever. But they do have some like small manageable pieces that I can fit into my car and bring home and probably put like yarn or DVDs on or whatever. But they do have affordable prices and like smaller furniture sometimes, and so I do like to go in there. They had this rack, and I drag it in here, but it's all the way in there. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna and they had this rack, but it's one of those racks that like goes behind a toilet, and I didn't get it for that, but I thought it's a really nice shelf, and what I was hoping it would do was because I got my niece a bunch of Wednesday stuff for Christmas, and like I said, I've made her a little shelf in her playroom with like her Wednesday collectibles on. It's just getting full. Like it's sort of full right now, and there's like a bunch of stuff that I had gotten that I just haven't put on her shelf yet, and but I knew that eventually I'd have to expand it, and so she has like there's nothing really wrong with that shelf, and I need to do the lights and stuff because it's really pretty how I put some lights on it, but I need to redo the lights because they're starting to kind of come off. When I saw that shelf, that it's one of those things that it goes behind a toilet, and so like the bottom of it is like sort of open, and it has like the sides, but it's completely open to make room for the toilet, and so there's like all these shelves up here, and so I thought, I wonder if like that would go over my niece's little black shelf that has her Wednesday stuff on it, and sort of where I can keep her existing shelf and then put that on top and then have it expand her shelf or whatever. And when I got it home, and I thought like if I don't need it for her Wednesday stuff, or if I find a better shelf eventually, or whatever, or if it doesn't fit like over her existing shelf, then I can just put it in the bathroom and actually use it in the bathroom over the toilet. Because it was only $10, and I thought, we'll use it in the bathroom. We can't put it in my niece's playroom. But when I got it home, it actually does fit perfectly over her shelf. And so unless I find her a better shelf or whatever, I was probably going to go in her playroom like to expand her Wednesday shelf. But it's a really nice shelf, but I'm not going to drag it all the way in here. But I did find that at that restore. And I guess the only other thing I'll talk about is I'll bring it back to the crochet. But when it was in one of my videos when I was like putting away all my stuff on my walls, putting away my yarn hauls, and I was talking about how when I was making this Christmas tree bag, I had like a white panel because I needed to do a test piece to figure out like how much yarn I would need to make this nice and significant. And I did a little test piece in white just to see if like a single piece of yarn would work. But it was way too small and too floppy and thin or whatever, but I thought like if I folded it a certain way, I could turn it into a little bag. And so I just had that scrap that I was going to turn into a little bag, and sort of take the panel like this, and then fold this end up, and then fold these over, and so like this would be the top of the little tiny bag. And so I did that, and so I took the little piece of white, and then I made it into that. And so what I sewed it up with is I wanted to use like a really pretty yarn and like add it to the top of it. This isn't technically done because I think I want to add some beads and like a little statement piece or something on it, or like make it even more ridiculous than it already looks. But whatever. I had this Yarn Bee Highland Thistle that I got at Goodwill in one of those big bags of yarn. It's really gorgeous, like sparkly eyelash yarn, or what, like this really gorgeous yarn that I showed in one of my previous hauls. And so I wanted to use this, and so I used that to sew up the seams. And then I tripled it up, and then I added a border on the top, and then I did the triple up method, and I did a chain for the little handle. And so this is a little bag, and like see how I just folded up the panel, and then I just sewed up the sides or whatever. And so like, and then this is the top of the bag, and then I added the border around here, and then I just added the little handle there. And we did most of the ends, but then when I was looking at these ends, I was thinking, just to make it even more ridiculous, what I'm going to do, I may decide later to just weave these ends and not do this, but when they were kind of hanging there on the sides, I was thinking, I do have a lot of beads and stuff, and this is like really pretty and sparkly, and I was just thinking, maybe I could like add some beads to these, and like a statement piece, or I do have those little flower things that I got to be the buttons on my mom's bed jacket, but they're like too pointy on the edges. But I could add that to this bag. Or like when you go to Hobby Lobby and there's like the aisles where like the beads are, and like the charms and stuff like that, they have a section where they have like big pins, like, you know, P-I-N-S, like pins, like these really gorgeous, like, you know, statement pieces with all kinds of, you know, pretty jewels and stuff all over them, to make this even more ridiculous. But God, that's all this freaking bag needs, is something more sparkly and big and obnoxious. Like, what the hell is this even going to be used for? I mean, it's a really pretty little bag, but I don't know what the hell I'm going to use it for. I could put my phone in it. No, I have my little like flip phone or whatever. It can be my little phone bag. When I have my crossbody bag, and I have a little, you know, pretty sparkly bag for my phone. God, it does fit in there, but I'm not going to use that for that. But I think it would look really cool to like put something there on the bag itself. And I do have those little buttons or whatever, and but they do have a lot of pretty pins at Hobby Lobby. And I don't know if they have one that would match this. They do have a lot of really pretty ones, so I don't know. But so this bag isn't completely done yet, but I did sew it up and make it a little bag. And I just need to figure out what to do with all this stuff, and then what I'm going to put here, if anything. Or I could take some pretty sparkly yarn, or even this yarn, and like crochet something to you know, attach there, so I don't have to worry about anything, you know, being too pokey or whatever that could, you know, snag the yarn. I mean, it wouldn't snag it as bad as it would have been if I would have used them as buttons on my mom's bed jacket. But maybe I can make something out of crochet, because I do have a lot of this. But what sucks is this is all I have left, because this is like such gorgeous yarn. I hate that like this is discontinued, and I'm never going to get any more of this unless, you know, I come across it secondhand at Goodwill or something. But it's really gorgeous yarn, so I could use some of this to make something and to put on here. I don't know, just to match the bag, or I could, you know, put a statement piece on. I don't know. But I was just thinking about that. But then when I was making this bag, I was also thinking what would be kind of cool is to make, instead of using one strand of yarn, I could use just two, so it won't be so big. But when I made this Christmas bag, I was thinking it would be kind of cool to like make this not this small, but like make it a little smaller, like, you know, like with doubled up yarn instead of tripled up, and I'll make like a cross body bag that's like a Christmas theme, and so it would be the same kind of thing, except it would be like a smaller, probably like, you know, maybe that big. I don't know how big the panels would be, and make that, and then make like the strap that would go around, because I do wear those like cross body bags. It's a freaking purse, but it's like a cross body bag. No, I remember a freaking purse all the time. I mean, I don't really think I can call it a cross body bag when it has like, you know, kittens and balls of yarn and stuff all over. But whatever. But it's a cross body bag. But it's a freaking purse. But I thought it would be kind of cool to like make a cross body bag that looked like this, and so like the straps that go around me could be like this, with the red and white yarn that kind of, you know, mimics candy canes and stuff, and have the Christmas tree, you know, be that little bag part. And I do have some zippers. I need to find those zippers. One year I needed a zipper for something, and it was actually cheaper to get like a pack of like 100 or however many it was. It's like I got this ridiculous bag of zippers like years ago on Amazon, because I needed one freaking zipper, and that's all I needed was one. But like for another $1 or whatever it was, I got like a bag of 100, and so I do have a bunch of zippers, and so I could put. I do have that zipper that came with my Yarn Inspirations order. That actually threw two of them in there. That one that you can crochet into stuff. I don't know how big that zipper is. If it would be like too wide or whatever, but I do have that zipper too. I do have some of those snaps or whatever, and I could put snaps on my freaking, you know, Christmas tree purse or whatever, you know, around my freaking neck. I don't know, but that's an idea in the future, because I am really happy with how this Christmas bag turned out or whatever, and so I want to make one for myself. This is my mom's or whatever, but I mean, it's ours, but like, you know, I made this for my mom, but I do want to make one for myself, you know, even if it's just like a smaller version of it and stuff. I'm not gonna wear it when I go out and look ridiculous, you know, carrying a freaking, you know, purse around my neck, but whatever. Anyway, that's gonna be the end of this video. I know it's like a bunch of like random stuff, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.